Hello everyone. So today we're going to talk about how the TOR network works. So first things first, TOR stands for the onion router. I'm not going to get into what onion routing is just now because we need to understand how a typical internet connection happens. So say you want to access Google. How does that happen? How does your computer access Google's website? Here we have an oversimplified diagram of how this whole communication happens. So here I have the user, the ISP, and the website. You want to connect to Google, right? So first, your request will leave your computer and it says, hey, I would like to connect to google.com. It will reach your ISP, your internet service provider, and they will say less, and your request will be forwarded to Google server. Google will see that a certain IP wants to connect to its servers, and it will go, sure, you can connect to me. Here's what I've got. And the website will be displayed on your screen. All this communication goes back and forth. The website tells you a little bit about itself, and you're telling a little bit about yourself to the website as well. So if you want to connect to a website, you got to have a URL, right? URL stands for Unique Resource Locator, and this URL will be translated into an IP address. And all of this happens through a DNS request, which is domain name service, and your ISP. So you don't actually send a request to www.google.com. You send a request to whatever their IP address is. So why don't we use URLs then? Well, you see, URLs are far more simple to memorize than IP addresses. And the cool part is, if you know the website's IP address, you can also connect to it just like you would do with the URL. So let's say you want to connect to Google. Instead of typing out www.google.com, you could just type whatever their IP address is, and you would be also taken to google.com. That said, how does TOR work? I mean, we already know that TOR stands for the onion router, but what is onion routing? Well, in order to understand what onion routing is, we need to understand how the TOR network works. So the way TOR works is pretty unusual. In order to connect to TOR, you need the TOR browser, and the TOR browser has the TOR client. After you open the TOR browser and connect to the TOR network, you can access whatever website you want. So the way this connection happens is weird. So here in this diagram, we have a user and a guard node, a middle node, an exit node, and a website. The user could be someone who is from a country where there is no freedom of press, or maybe this user is a whistleblower, or maybe they're just someone who cares about their privacy. Whatever their reason might be, TOR is a great tool. So here we have a diagram with 3 nodes, but we can have as much as 4 or 5, but it's usually 3 nodes. Okay, so we have the user, the guard node, the middle node, the exit node, and the website. We have 3 nodes in total, and we can have as much as 4 or 5, but it's usually 3. Okay. So let's say this user wants to connect to www.youtube.com. How would that happen? Well, his request would be completely encrypted on the TOR client, meaning it won't reach the internet until it has been completely encrypted. So after it was completely encrypted, then it will be forwarded to the first node, which is our guard node. So the guard node removes one layer of encryption. It forwards the request to the middle node. The middle node will remove another layer of encryption. It will forward it to the exit node, and the exit node will remove the final layer of encryption, and the request will reach the website. Now, what I need you to understand is that all your requests on the TOR network are encrypted. Okay, so when you make a request, your request is encrypted before it reaches the internet. So not even your guard relay knows what it is that you want. All it knows is that it has received the message, and it will decrypt the message one time because it only has one key, and all it knows is that it has to forward that message to another node. But it doesn't know what it is that you want. It doesn't know if you want to access YouTube. It doesn't know if you want to watch a video on Facebook. It doesn't know. It simply does not know what you want. All it knows is that it has to remove one layer of encryption and forward it to another relay, to another node on your TOR circuit. And after it reaches your middle relay will remove another layer of encryption. But it's still gibberish. It doesn't know what it is that you want. All it knows is that it has to remove one layer of encryption because it has, so let's say we have 3 keys, okay? The first node only has the first key. It doesn't have the second key or the third key, okay? And now we have the middle node, and the middle node has the second key. So it will remove the second layer of encryption, but it doesn't have the third key. So it's still gibberish. It doesn't know what the request is. It only knows that it has to pass the request to the exit node that has been established in your TOR circuit. And then this request will reach the exit node. After it reaches the exit node will remove one final layer of encryption and it will reach the website. So let's analyze this. So the guard relay doesn't know who the exit relay is. All it knows is the user and the middle relay. And the exit relay doesn't know who the user is. It doesn't know who the guard relay is. All it knows is the middle relay and the website. So these two guys know nothing about each other, and yet they are connected by the middle relay. That makes TOR extra secure, okay? And we explained how the user website communication happens, but what about the website user communication? Well, it's pretty much the same thing. Here in the exit node, the website's response will be encrypted 3 other times, and one of the nodes will remove one layer of encryption, and then another, and then another, and then it will reach the user. So this is the closest to anonymous you can be on the internet. All this communication is extremely secure. The guard node doesn't know who the exit node is. The exit node doesn't know who the user is or who's trying to access the website in question. All it knows is that it has a message that it has to pass on to the website server. The communication in between the exit node and the website is not encrypted, but then again, it doesn't know who the user is, so it can't be traced back to you. Yeah, this is the closest you can be to being anonymous on the internet. In a typical internet connection, your ISP would be the middleman between you and the website. But when you're connected to TOR, your traffic does not reach your ISP. It simply doesn't. All your ISP knows is that you are connected to TOR, but it doesn't know what it is that you're doing. It doesn't know if you're watching a YouTube video or browsing Facebook or reading a Wikipedia article. All it knows is that you're connected to TOR. That's all it knows. So if you live somewhere where TOR is illegal, you could use a TOR bridge so your ISP doesn't snitch on you. For most people in countries such as Canada, the United States, it is okay to use TOR. It is not illegal, and you probably won't need a bridge. But for someone who lives in an authoritarian country, you will probably need a bridge. In a country where TOR is illegal, because it hides from your ISP that you are connected to TOR. The way they work is that they will basically pretend something they're not. I will get more into TOR bridges in the next videos, but what I need you to understand about TOR bridges is that they will pretend to be something they're not. So to your ISP, it would seem like you're accessing some website like Facebook when you were actually connecting to the TOR network, but to your ISP, it would seem like you're accessing Facebook. So if you don't absolutely need a bridge, don't use them, okay? Save them for people who actually need them. So unless you're overly concerned about your privacy, don't use a bridge. Save them for people who need them. So back to the relays. These relays could be anywhere in the world. So look at this example. Say I'm in Canada. My traffic is going from Canada to Germany to Poland and then to Denmark. So it would appear to the website, in this case DuckDuckGo, that my traffic is coming from Denmark, which is where my exit node is. But it's not actually where I am, you know. It's not actually coming from Denmark as well. It came from Canada and it bounced around on these other relays until it got to the exit relay in Denmark. That's it. I hope this video was informative, even though it was oversimplified. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video and maybe consider subscribing to the channel. See you guys next video. Bye.